Please share, comment, subscribe, and like. It really helps.
Ocean springs, aquifers. The weary of the frame, the fame and glory, breakage of the waves, sea-lapped shores of golden glistening shimmerings, rising, falling are ripples, emotions of oceans, depths of abyss beneath, swirling, twirling are ripplings, soothings, calm of ginormous multitudes, a measuring of the ups and downing peaks, the groan of crackling timbers of frames, boats creak a waning, the rolling tumble of wind-swept sails, a gurgling of waters round about ocean's passages. A boat in a boat, an arc of arcs, carrying to and fro, errands encompassed migrating flocks, seasonal tames untamed, a seeming bastions, a steady, a calm, turbulence of our workings. Strivings released to be tamed, yet a necessity of remaining. A woe the wind swept, charred, scorched and arid lands yonder, yet a quakes of waters valved, sprinklings and turbulence of skies. Proof untamings, determined, a change of changes, clarity, not a cloud ever being same shape or form, though symmetry. So then I say, behold your magnificence, mighty matters we beings, mighty matters, bow around you.
Greetings. I want to share with you a discovery that I have accomplished for myself, and that of further exploration I will share with you of a profound discovery that I have achieved and accomplished. So to do with that of acquaintanceship, hopeful of that of relationship, and hopeful of lasting friendship, and so that of the symmetry involved of such, being to do of our gravitational ways, our influencing ways, together. But however, as though orbiting bodies, such as an example, the celestial of the world, and our symmetry shared innately to do all that. And so of such relationship, faithful of gaining a gravitational synchronicity and synchronous orbit together, like that of the celestial of the world. And so of that of the symmetry of the waves of the ocean, the symmetry of the waves of the clouds, and so the synchronicity to do with relationships, and the symmetry of that of the orbiting ways of to do with the celestials, and of proximity, especially to do with such relationships and family heritage, and hence that terminology of family tree, and so then the tree of life. And so as a further example of the synchronicity of orbits and a elongated orbit. What I'm doing here, I'll do it this way so you can appreciate that of an elongated orbit, but of a symmetry to do with that. What I'm describing here is quite profound, and you will recognize and realize just why. So as I'm doing this with my hands, I'm illustrating an elongated orbit. So there's a proximity, close proximity, coming close together, and then so separating, going away, and then coming back together of a connectivity, and then separating and going away again. And so a synchronicity of orbit is akin to that of the lunar moon and that of the Earth, or what the humans have commonly referred to as the Earth, as a result of consensual agreement and consensus. But what I'm describing here is just how the lunar moon has resulted of a synchronicity of orbit and a symmetry of orbit with the Earth. And so to do with that synchronicity of orbit resulting from an elongated orbit, as though a celestial object coming towards the Earth or the celestial of the world, and achieving a synchronicity of orbit, of elongated orbit, and then overduration, just like that of how spinning a spinner on the ground, it spins round and round, and then eventually comes to a still, or it comes to a stop. So what I'm describing here is just how exactly the lunar moon has resulted of a synchronicity, of a synchronous orbit with the celestial of the Earth. However, if there was a collision and then there was a synchronous orbit or an elongated orbit, whether that being the exact truth of what has occurred here or not, it's still profound what I'm teaching right now. It's explanation of either that or that. And so, in terms of relationship, we share of such symmetry, don't we? And hopeful of such relationship. And so, we are all inclusively involved of all unities of matters of existence, hopeful innately of such faith, of gaining of such relationship, but also of an embrace of our relativities to do our symmetry together. And we gravitate with that and even yearn for that, and of our innate hope of our gaining of such relationship and our sharing of that together, and our yearning and our embrace of that, of accomplished relationship. And so, in terms of pains, traumas and tribulations, turmoil, turbulence and ricochets of cause and effects, and so causality, of when relationships sour, overduration, and friendship of experiencing a breakage or a divide or a separation, that is further explanation of the symmetries that we share, despite that disconnect. But it's not a disconnect really, you understand? Because really, it's like an elongated orbit, you know? And so, there is not a central egotism. There is not a centralized source as such, because integrities of origin we all respect, and of such faith we all share of our integrities to continuing to exist, to persist, and to graduating of our earnings of learnings. And there is earnings in learnings, and there is unities in communities. And what I've explained here this day is profound, because we share of that the orbital ways of the lunar moon and the earth and the celestials beyond. And so in terms of that of religious rhetoric, in terms of that of consternation, in terms of that of belief, the innate faith of the results of our earnings and our yearnings and our learnings are of gravitational influences of symmetry that we immediately share, for sharing is what we do. It just happens to happen. And so that is explanation, to an extent, of just how the lunar moon has resulted of the positioning ways of the orbital influences with the Earth. That has clearly been the result of what I've explained, and that can be further discovered and explored by you, the listener. And hopefully you're listening and not just hearing, but you're scrutinizing intrinsically of the communication that you're hearing and listening to, sensibly, reasonably, and appreciatively. For this is meaningful and profound for yourself, self of you, and of meaningful of how you want it. And so, of enlightenment for you. And such an unconditional innate faith of gaining a response. We reach with our innate faith, hopeful of gaining such response and recognition. And we share of our communication, and hence the word communication. And so these words that I have spoken, further example of forensic linguistics, decipherable of simplicities and to complexities. For simplicities can be explained of complexities, and complexities can be explained of simplicities. And that is amazingly, immeasurably profound to behold your magnificence. Good day.